Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wicked Bee of the West YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie Diana Eubank. I'm a doctoral candidate from Concordia University of Chicago, and I teach operational management, supply chain management, and lean operations at Stan State. So I want to talk about a really interesting concept that is killing overall organizational culture, both in person and in the remote workspace. And specifically, that is the aspect of toxic leadership that is creating this vibe in the workplace of constant discord. What I mean by this is whenever anyone makes a decision and they feel like they have to be prepared to argue with the Supreme Court about any decision or thing that is done in the workplace. Such as you may have reviewed a file, completed it, and then have to answer for every single item noted, which is understandable. That's quality control. But when this extends beyond just looking at quality control and becomes in meetings every time you say anything, you feel like you have to over-explain and detail every single step in your decision process to show that you were being logical. Now, this actually is one of many ways in this over-explaining as part of people pleasing and part of addressing conflict is a sign of workplace PTSD. And in this case, that aspect of workplace PTSD is caused by leadership not, for one, not trusting, or secondly, bonding with their team, whether they're in person or remote. And this lack of team bonding and trust can create so much anxiety for your workers. And if they don't have workplace PTSD, they're developing it. And this development of workplace PTSD through such discord and feeling like we have to argue every single thing we do in the workplace and defend every decision, everything we say and do, creates a toxic organizational culture of constant argument. And basically, your whole team will feel anxious as if they have to be prepared uh, to present a well-reasoned argument to the Supreme Court when the issue was, I gave a discount, they had the coupon, we moved on, or some other very minor concept of business. And this is often triggered by leadership not feeling like they trust their team and expressing to their team, all right, I trust your decision making. Let's move on. Now, there is a difference between quality control and being able to say, okay, you did this file. We noticed these notes. Can you explain these notes? That is part of quality control and risk mitigation. However, when it gets to a point where that has become so heavily engrossed into your organizational culture, it can become extraordinarily toxic and make it to where you're developing anxiety and other mental health stressors into your workplace culture, which is unhealthy for the long-term health of your workforce. And you got to remember, organizational culture and your workforce, the way that they are studied sociologically and within behavioral science, is as if as a group, these groups are one large single entity or an organism. And as such, things grow and change. Your culture is supposed to grow and change with your workforce. Think of it as one of those toys you buy for your children that has all the extenders to grow with them. And as such, you need to start using the extensions of your organizational culture by training your leaders and helping them develop better leadership skills to learn how to better trust and provide autonomy to their teams, both in person and remote. Because as we're going forward into the future of work, where work is becoming remote and hybrid as the primary modalities, you're going to see more and more pushback of people not wanting to work for your organization solely because of leadership and the reputation leadership is creating by disrupting your culture in these sort of very toxic and destructive ways. It's actually really interesting considering in remote work, shared leadership tends to start to evolve, which, if you read my other posts, could become the downfall of middle management. So, as we're currently structured today, as far as organizational design and culture, we need to start looking at our leaders and see how we can help them strengthen through learning how to be empathetic, trust their team, and encourage process development. That's all I have for you today. If you would like more tips and tricks on how to keep your leadership growing effectively in the remote workplace, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also engage my consulting services through my social media links as far as reaching out to me. That's all I have again for today. So remember, remote, it's here to stay.